Your phone rings. You freeze. You watch it ring and hope it stops. Your chest feels tight. Your mind goes blank. You tell yourself, "I'll call back later." But later never comes. If that sounds familiar, you're not antisocial and you're not being rude. Your brain is reacting to a perceived threat. Today, we're uncovering the real psychology behind phone call anxiety and what this reaction reveals about your mind. For many people, phone calls don't feel like simple communication. They feel like pressure, exposure, emotional ambush. This isn't about disliking small talk. This is about how your mind processes uncertainty, control, social pressure, and emotional safety. One of the biggest reasons phone calls feel stressful is something your brain deeply dislikes: unpredictability. Text messages are predictable. You can read them, think about your response, edit your words, and reply when you're ready. A phone call removes that safety net. You don't know what the person wants. You don't know how long the conversation will last. You don't know what mood they're in or what you'll be asked. And your brain has to respond instantly, without preparation. That uncertainty activates the brain's threat detection system, especially the amygdala, the part responsible for scanning for danger. Even if there's no real threat, your brain reacts as if there might be. That uneasy feeling when your phone lights up isn't random. It's your nervous system saying, "We don't have enough information to feel safe." And often, the most stressful part isn't the call itself. It's the time before you answer. Your mind starts running scenarios. What if it's bad news? What if they ask for something I can't give? What if I say something awkward? What if I disappoint them? This is called anticipatory anxiety. Anxiety that builds before an event even happens. Your brain is trying to prepare you, but instead of calming you down, it overwhelms you with possibilities. Your heart rate rises. Your thoughts speed up. Your body gets tense. So your brain looks for relief. And the fastest relief is avoidance. Not answering reduces anxiety in the moment, but it quietly teaches your brain that phone calls really are dangerous. There's also a mental load that comes with phone conversations that people don't talk about enough. On a call, your brain has to listen, process tone, think of a response, regulate your own voice, and monitor the other person's reactions, all in real time. That's a lot. If you already tend to overthink or feel socially anxious, this can create cognitive overload. It's like your brain already has too many tabs open, and the call adds 10 more at once. Texting gives you processing time. Phone calls demand performance under pressure. And sometimes your brain simply says, "We don't have the energy for this." Another layer of phone anxiety comes from something deeply tied to your sense of safety: control. Texting gives you control over timing, wording, and pace. You can pause. You can think. You can edit. You can respond when you feel ready. Phone calls take most of that control away. You can't stop the conversation for 5 minutes to organize your thoughts. You can't rewrite your sentences. You can't hide your hesitation. For people who grew up in environments where mistakes led to criticism, conflict, or embarrassment, this loss of control can feel especially threatening. Your brain may have learned early on: be careful. Say the right thing. Don't mess up. Phone calls make that feel impossible. So avoidance becomes a form of self-protection. For people with social anxiety, phone calls can be even more intense. In face-to-face conversations, you can read facial expressions and body language. You can see nods, smiles, and subtle reassurance that things are going okay. On the phone, all of that disappears. You're left guessing. And socially anxious brains tend to fill in the blanks with worst-case interpretations. Did that sound weird? Are they annoyed? Was that silence awkward? Did I talk too much? Without visual feedback, the fear of being judged or misunderstood gets louder. Your attachment style, shaped by early relationships, can also play a role. If you tend toward anxious attachment, you might overthink how you're coming across, fear saying the wrong thing, or worry about being disliked. If you lean more avoidant, phone calls can feel like emotional demands you didn't choose, an invasion of space or pressure to engage before you're ready. In both cases, the anxiety isn't really about the phone. It's about how safe connection feels in your nervous system. And speaking of the nervous system, that physical jolt you feel when the phone rings is very real. Your body might react with a racing heart, shallow breathing, or sudden tension. This is your fight or flight response activating, even though the threat is just a conversation. Some people don't feel fight or flight. They feel freeze. They stare at the phone, wanting to answer but feeling stuck, watching it ring while guilt builds. That frozen feeling isn't laziness. It's your nervous system trying to protect you by shutting down action in a moment that feels overwhelming. Sometimes, phone anxiety is connected to emotional memory. If phone calls in your past often meant bad news, conflict, pressure, or criticism, your brain may have linked the sound of a ringing phone with stress. Even if today's call is harmless, your nervous system reacts based on old patterns, not current reality. The body remembers what the mind has tried to move past. When you put all of this together, texting simply feels safer for your brain. It lowers unpredictability, reduces pressure, and gives you time to regulate your emotions before responding. Your brain prefers situations where it feels prepared, not ambushed. If phone calls trigger anxiety for you, it doesn't mean you're antisocial or incapable. It often means your brain is highly sensitive to unpredictability, social pressure, and loss of control. It means your nervous system learned to be careful, alert, protective. In other words, your reaction makes psychological sense. Your brain is trying to keep you safe. It's just using an alarm system that's a little too sensitive for modern life. And the first step toward changing that isn't forcing yourself to just get over it. It's understanding why your mind reacts the way it does. Because when you understand the psychology behind your reactions, you stop fighting yourself and start working with your brain instead of against it. So if phone calls make you anxious, remember this. Your brain isn't broken. Your reactions aren't random. And you're not bad at communication. Your mind learned to protect you in situations that once felt overwhelming, unpredictable, or emotionally unsafe. The anxiety you feel isn't weakness. It's a nervous system that became very good at scanning for pressure and trying to keep you in control. But the more you understand these patterns, the less power they have over you. Because awareness turns fear into information. And information gives you choice. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" you can begin asking, "What is my mind trying to protect me from?" That question changes everything. And if you want to keep understanding your thoughts, your emotions, and the hidden psychology behind everyday behaviors, make sure you subscribe to Inner Mind Psychology. This channel is here to help you understand your mind. Not judge it, but truly understand it. Because when you understand your mind, you stop fighting yourself and start working with yourself.